Hey guys, welcome to video number 2. Okay, unfortunately the kids can't join this round because there's a new ruling, only one person per car. And actually because of that ruling, we have actually relocated my family to my in-laws house, because my house is doing renovation and we don't have a kitchen, so it's quite difficult to live in a house without any facilities. So they'll be there for the whole duration, and I need to go home because I need to get some stuff that we left behind. And while we're there, let's do another video. Yeah, today we're going to talk about the Corrado VR6. Okay, before we go and talk about the Corrado VR6, let's just go back in time and look at some of the coupés that VW made. Okay, starting way back in 1955, and they had the car called the Kamangia. Alright, this model of Kamangia came out in 1955 right through 1974, and it was designed by the Gia house in Turin and was built by Kaman, so that's why they had the name Kamangia. Alright, it was a very beautiful streamlined model. Alright, you can see the curves. Alright, but underneath it was still a VW Beetle. Okay, they shared the same axle, front axle, they share the same gearbox, and also they share the same engine. Alright, so it may look very fast, but it was actually very slow. Okay, so they altogether they made about 445,000 of this Kamangia models. In 1961, VW came out with a new Kamangia called the Razor Edge, or Type 34. Alright, it was a much more squarish design. Okay, and it was actually supposed to replace the earlier Kamangia, but the earlier gear was so popular that they actually sold side by side. So the Razor Edge was actually based on the new Type 3 engine, the new pancake engine, and it had 1500cc, and it was actually the fastest VW at that time. Over across the Atlantic in Brazil, VW also had a Kamangia in Brazil market called the Kamangia TC. It was also designed by the Gia house, and it used a 1500 pancake engine as well. After that model, they also introduced the SP1 and SP2, alright, which is a very nice looking coupe, and this was only available in the Brazil market. Back in Europe, VW and Porsche were looking to build a new model for their range, and they actually collaborated and designed a car called the Porsche 914 or the 916. The 914 having a flat 4 VW engine, and the 916 having a flat 6 engine. This production was from 1969 up to 1976, and it was quite a interesting model with a mid-engine layout. Back in early 1970s, VW was looking to replace its aging air-cooled models, and they actually had a lineup of new water-cooled models coming up, starting with the Volkswagen Scirocco, which was launched in 1973. It was a very popular model for VW with over 504,000 sold from 1974 up to 1981. And it was designed by Giugiaro, the man behind beautiful cars such as the Ferrari 250, the Lotus Esprit, the various Alfa Romeos, and also the DeLorean. Its successor was the Mark II Scirocco, which was actually internal designed by VW themselves, and it came in various trim levels. You know, we had G, GL, GLX, GDI, and many more during the years of production from 1982 up to 92. And engine sizes were also from 1.3 at the start, and they ended with a 1.8. And the most sought after models are probably the 16 valve and the Scalas. In 1988, VW launched the VW Corrado, and it was actually sold side by side with the VW Scirocco, whereby VW actually placed the Corrado at a higher level of luxury, alright, hoping to win over buyers from Porsche and BMW. So they actually launched with two engines, the 1.8 16 valve and also the G60 supercharger. The G60 was named after its supercharger, which was G-shaped internal, and it produced 154 horsepower from the engine. And it was actually quite a good car to drive then, giving a very good power and very good handling. In fact, a lot of motoring journalists give very good praises to VW, calling it one of the best front-wheel drives ever made. But however, after a short while, VW had a problem with the design of the G60, whereby the G60 had a tendency of going boom. Luckily, VW was actually developing the new third generation Mark III Golfs and Passat, and for their flagship models they had a new engine called a VR6. Alright, V basically is the shape of the cylinder, and then the R stands for right hand motor, which is actually inline. Okay, so basically it's a V inline motor, and it had actually a 15-degree narrow angle. Traditionally, V engines had a 60 or 90-degree angle, necessitating two sets of cylinder heads. Alright, whereas this narrow angle V only needed one set of cylinder head. So it was a very compact design, and it was only slightly larger than a inline 4 engine. So you could actually put it in a small compact body. Alright, however, the Corrado was the design of the earlier Corrado was still too small, so they had to modify the front of the new Corrados to fit this VR6 engine. So they actually widened the track of the front and actually gave it a new bonnet, a curved bonnet, so that it could clear the engine. Okay, let's take a tour of the car, and I'll show you the engine bay and also the interior of the car, and later we'll go out for a spin because I need to go and buy something for Mrs. Koo, and we'll take this baby out, and then I'll be able to show you the wing coming up at speed. Alright, it actually comes up at speed and gives you about 60% more downforce. Okay, and then we'll let you hear the sound of the engine as well. Okay, let's take an exterior look at the car. So this is how the rear of the Corrado looks like. Okay, and basically this is the wing that as I told you earlier, alright, at speed this wing will actually raise up and give you 60% more downforce. Okay, the Corrado came standard with this rim. This speed lines, alright, they actually call it the Corrado speed line. Okay, wheels which are 15-inch. Okay, and this is the most interesting part of the car. If you ever seen a McLaren F1, alright, they actually share the same wing mirrors with the Corrado. So the part number for the McLaren F1 wing mirrors is similar to the VW Corrado. Interesting, huh? Okay, so this is the bonnet. Like I said, in order to let the VR6 engine go in, they actually had to revise the shape of the bonnet. Alright, and they actually widened the track to fit the VR6 engine. Okay, moving on to the interior. This interior came in black leather. This was an option, and it's a very dark interior, I would say. Okay, my Corrado is an automatic unit, and this unit actually has a new sensor. It detects what is your throttle response and actually adjusts to it. Okay, so this is the meter cluster. Alright, it's a bit dark, but I hope you can have a look and see. Okay, and the back seats are actually quite spacious for a two-door coupe. Alright, let me just show you. Okay, you see the rear seats are actually quite contoured, so it's very in the shape of a bucket. So alright, and I will go in and let you have a look. You know, it's actually quite spacious, and you can actually fit quite nicely. Okay, pull the chair back and swing the camera this side, and you see I have actually quite a bit of leg room available, and I'm about 5'7", so it's about touching the top lah, you know. But I mean, it still be able to drive this to the supermarket, and you know, it's still bigger than what you get in most two-door coupes. All right. So this is a view of the leg room. So you see, we still have space for me to move my hands. All right. Okay. So this is the view from the back. All right, the cockpit. Now let's go and have a look at the engine. Okay, let's have a look at the heart of the beast. Alright, this is a VR6 2.9 liter engine, and it gives 190 horsepower with 245 Newton meters of torque. Alright, you can see the design is very compact. Alright, and basically the pistons of the VR6 are something like that. Alright, and it only has one cylinder head. Alright, this 2.9 is only available to the European spec Corrados. The American and Canadian spec were 2.8, similar to what you get in the Golf and Passat. Alright, so at the time it was launched, this Corrado with this engine was the fastest car that VW produced. Alright, and you had a 0 to 60 time of about 6.5 seconds. Okay, so let's go out and have a drive, and then you can hear how it sounds. The VR6 has a very unique sound to it. Alright, and let's go test the drive. Okay, it's actually starting to rain, so I hope you can see. Feel the back of the mirror. One of the first aero wings, right? Even before the Porsche, right? I'm sorry, it's a bit shaky because I don't have a proper mount to mount it, right? Alright, you heard a bit of the engine going to the tunnel. Okay, I've gotten Mrs. Khoo's stuff. Now we're heading home, and I'll just let you all have a sort of a view. Not many cars are about due to the lockdown. I needed to go to the pharmacy to buy some stuff, and that is done. Home, and I'm sorry it started to rain, so you probably couldn't hear the sound of the engine. I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making it for you, and if I got any of the facts wrong, please let me know in the comments below. And if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. Please don't go out unnecessary. I had to go out because my wife needed some stuff, so I need to be safe. Wear your face mask if you need to drive out. If you don't, please stay at home. I hope everything will be back to normal soon, and we will be able to enjoy our normal lives again. Alright, thank you very much. Take care, stay safe, bye bye.